Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a historic haunting video on ghostly warnings. I could have probably labeled this under unexplained phenomena, but it had more of a ghost feel to it. So, here we go. Historic haunting. History is rife with stories of phantoms or dead relatives warning the living about impending disasters. During World War II, a man was asleep in his bunk on board a freighter in the Atlantic. The ghost of his mother warned him that it was time to get up. After that, he of course couldn't go back to sleep, so he got dressed and went down to the engine room. Just then, an enemy torpedo struck the ship. Had he been asleep, he might not have survived. Another story. A woman was awakened from a sound sleep by the voice of her dead husband yelling, "Fire." She discovered that her house was indeed on fire and was able to call 911 and save the cabin. Another story. A group of children in a new house. They were walking down into the basement. They all saw that their dead mother at the bottom of the stairs, waving them to go back up the stairs. Turns out there was an old cistern at the bottom of the stairs with a rotted wood cover. The landlord said he needed to fix it before anyone went down into the basement. They could have fallen to their death. But their mother warned them not to go down the stairs. They all saw it. It wasn't one person, it was all of them saw it. Now, I want to credit the book Real Ghosts, Restless Spirits, and Haunted Places by Brad Steiger for these three stories. They're all in there. I used his book for research for this video. He is an excellent researcher and a writer, and his book is outstanding. I highly recommend it. These are only 3 of the thousands of reports throughout history of such ghostly warnings. These warnings have saved untold thousands of people from a variety of dangers, enemy attacks, from enemy attacks to fires to dangerous animals and people to physical dangers from inanimate objects. Just you name it, it's there. Apparently dead relatives are wanting people to stay alive, and that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this happened once or twice, I could see people dismissing this as the ravings of lunatics or kooks or maybe even hoaxes. The sheer number of these reports from all over the world by people who have never met and have no reason to lie force us to sit up and take notice. There is something to this. The realm of the unknown is far greater than the realm of the known, and in my humble opinion, the love of the dearly departed far surpasses death. After all, if you had the opportunity and the means to warn your kid of danger, would you let a little thing like death stop you? I wouldn't. I mean, honestly, there's people, and you hear it all through history. It's in popular culture, television, it's in movies. Dead relatives, spirits, restless spirits warning people of danger. I actually remember vaguely, I can't quote you the story. It was something about an engineer on a train, and he's driving the train, and it's at night, and he sees somebody waving a lantern. And of course, he's new on the route, so he sees somebody waving the lantern, and he's supposed to get him to stop, so he hits the brakes and stops. And then, of course, whoever was waving the lantern is gone. And he's trying to figure out what's going on when a vehicle drives up, and it's train track workers, railroad workers. They come up and they say something to the effect of, "Yeah, the bridge is washed out. You'll have to back up and take this other route." If that person hadn't been there, that spirit hadn't been there with the lantern, the glowing lantern, he would have kept going, and the whole train would have went right off into the ravine. So these things are real. I've heard of stories of people driving on the highway. I did a video about highway phantoms. I heard a story about a guy driving a truck, a big rig, and there was a ghost. He saw somebody by the side of the road, and he pulled over to pick him up, and it got up into the cabin, up into the cab with him, and it was a young guy. And he said, "You're going to have to turn around and go back because the bridge up here's out." And he goes, "Oh, really? Thanks for telling me." So he turns around, and he's heading down, and he looks over, and the guy's gone. It's crazy. These stories are everywhere. And there's so many of them. You cannot ignore them. There absolutely has to be something to this. That's all I'm saying. Anybody who's experienced something like this or knows a good story, put it in the comments. I'm sure people would love to read them. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good day now. God bless one and all. Clarissa Lowe, a historian from the future. Delmore Kane, a Civil War veteran turned outlaw. This oddball pairing faces a conspiracy of epic proportions spanning the centuries. If you like action and adventure westerns with a splash of science fiction and fantasy, check out my book series Drifters and their ongoing adventures.